Hello, friends. This is Matt Greer. I'm the artistic director of Quintessence, a community of singers, and we're here to talk a little bit about this fantastic concert we have coming up this weekend, Earth Songs, which is being performed twice, October 1st, this Sunday at 3 p.m., and Monday, October 2nd at 7 p.m., both performances at St. John's United Methodist Church, and we hope to see you there. And there's a bunch of fantastic music on this program, music by Eric Whitaker, Dale Trumbore, Joshua Schenk, Alice Parker. But one of the reasons that I was really excited to do this program is we're doing a favorite piece of mine, Aaron Copland's In the Beginning, which is an a cappella piece from 1947, just under 20 minutes long. And it's a setting of most of the first chapter of Genesis. So that entire creation story, creation myth. And it's a fantastic piece. It's scored for a cappella chorus with mezzo-soprano solo. And I am thrilled that I get to do this piece with my friend and colleague, Olga Perez Flora. So I asked her if she would come by and chat about the piece. And she said, yes. And here she is. Hi, Olga.
Hi, good morning, Matt. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
So I just gave kind of a thumbnail sketch of In the Beginning, which I first encountered as a singer in graduate school. And so I was pretty familiar with the tenor part. And I just remember as a singer having a fantastic experience with it. And then it just kind of got filed away. And I've conducted it once before this, about 13 years ago, I think. And so I've always wanted to revisit it. And I'm just so happy that we're doing this together. Did you know the piece before I called you with this crazy idea?
No, I didn't know the piece at all. And so reached out and sent me some recordings and the score. And I looked at it and I thought, this looks reasonable. We can do this. This sounds great. Those were my real just first thoughts.
And now that we're in performance week, and now that, you've been, working the piece for the last 6 months, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Digging into it, was it more challenging than you expected it to be?
Yeah, it was more challenging than I expected it to be, and I would expect no less of Matt Greer. I've learned my lesson now. I find it challenging and extremely satisfying and rewarding now that I've lived with it. And I think as musicians, we all know, we get a score and you start to, well, I do my whole school supply thing. I highlight it, I tab it, I'm ready to go. I sit down and I play it. And the first time I sat down to play it, I thought, this is a little harder than I thought, a little more challenging. And then I really started to dig into it and I sort of divided it into 6 chunks and really the first half and the second half for me. And I did what I normally do, which is I just keep woodshedding and thinking, it's going to stick. It's going to come. It's going to. I promise. Self, it's going to happen. And it did. And I took the first half to my voice teacher and who I'm working with now. And that was the first time I sort of really sang it. And I was like, oh, this is really starting to be cool and awesome. And, I could find little spots that were, okay, I need to think about that. I need to really think about what is the harmonic function, what's going on in the whole piece, right? And then when we got together, when I got to rehearse with you and Quintessence on Monday, I was like, okay, this makes so much more sense to me now.
For us too. Yeah, seriously, because we really do depend on each other, especially tonally. It is, there are just so many shifts over the course of about 17 minutes. And yeah, finally putting it together kind of, I think, absolutely helps it to make sense. It certainly did for us. So it's interesting to me, the history of the piece is that it was written for a particular symposium in choral music at Harvard in 1947. And Robert Shaw conducted the premiere. And it's kind of, I don't know, a lot of folks love Aaron Copland's music, but like a particular section of Aaron Copland's music, right? The stuff that's Americana. And where this fits into Copland in general is just kind of interesting to me. But I think the one performance, the one live performance that I remember hearing as an audience member was Shaw conducting the festival singers he had late in his life, like in the early 90s. And the piece did not make much of an impression to me, but it's interesting to me that he never recorded it. And I wonder, because it's a fantastic piece and he was recording a lot of that 20th century repertoire late in his life, but I just wonder if he found it too challenging to make a recording of.
Maybe he did. I mean, I think I read somewhere in my research that this was one of Copland himself's favorite pieces, right?
Oh, wow.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't remember where I read that, but and I thought, oh, this is important. It was early on. I was just starting to get to know the piece, and I always like to do some research. The text, of course, is easy to research in this case. And but I read that and I thought that makes a lot of sense to me, because tonally and harmonically it is very challenging. And I think continuing the tuning throughout is what makes it such a challenge. So maybe that's why Shaw didn't record it. Was he in Atlanta when he was doing those recordings?
This is post Atlanta, when he had like a pro festival singers chorus that he was. It's kind of the new Robert Shaw chorale that he had late in his life. And so he recorded a lot of really challenging stuff, but it is interesting to me that he didn't come back to this piece. So I want to play just a little bit of the beginning of this to give our audience members just a taste of it. And one of the things that I think is wonderful about the piece, I would love to know who Copland had in mind, because he must have had a mezzo soloist in mind. And why he chose in particular a mezzo soloist to be the storyteller is interesting to me. So you'll see in this recording, friends, we're just going to play like 3 minutes or so. This is the opening of the piece, and you'll hear how the mezzo soloist begins this story, and then how the chorus takes it and how they interplay a little bit. And this is also one of those cool recordings where you actually see the score on the screen as you're hearing the music. This is a recording by San Diego Pro Arte Voices, and this is the beginning of Aaron Copland's In the Beginning.
Darkness was upon the face of the day. And God said, let there be light, and there there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years, and let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years, and let there be lights.
So that gives you a really good taste of the piece. I've listened to a lot of recordings, and one thing I found, I don't know if you found this, was that it has not been recorded a lot by American choirs. It's
That's
been
right.
recorded by a fair number of cathedral choirs,
Mhm.
which does not sound right to me. The male trebles and then the British pronunciation just doesn't fit the piece to me at all.
I totally agree. The one I've been listening to the most is Mildred Miller as the soloist. She's a teacher that I worked with a little bit in Pittsburgh,
Huh.
beautiful mezzo, and it's an American recording. I like it.
How does it lie for you in your range and where you feel good as a singer?
Honestly, it feels like perfection. It's rare that I sing a piece and I think, wow, I this feels so good. And now that we're doing it, it just feels great. He just nailed it in terms of the tessitura and how it feels. I love the low A at the beginning.
Me too.
So
Yeah.
awesome. And I one of the things that I strive for in my singing and in the art of singing is just consistency throughout the voice. And it just feels so wonderful. It feels easy to sing. So, sorry, there's a lot of noise going on.
No, it's okay. It's all right. Uh, well, you sound great, and I can't wait for our audiences to hear you and to get to experience the piece. I realize, Olga, I didn't give you a proper introduction other than saying that we're friends. And
Okay.
Olga is, in addition to being an internationally known recitalist, opera artist, oratorio singer, she is assistant professor of voice and head of the voice area at the University of New Mexico. And if you want to know more about everything she does, all of her fantastic work, you can go to olgaperezflora.com and keep up with what she is doing. Coming up after this, you have a gig with the New Mexico Philharmonic next weekend, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
That's right. Yeah, I'm going to sing the Mozart Requiem with my husband, James Flora, as the tenor, Amy Owens, soprano, and Carlos Archuleta, baritone. And the Choral Luke's Choir will be doing the choral part with Brad Ellingbo conducting. And so we're also doing, and by we, I really mean Jamie and Carlos, the Mozart and Salieri Rimsky-Korsakov opera, Mozart and Salieri. So the concept of the concert is that it's supposed to be like the movie Amadeus. And so
Oh, cool.
it's going to be really cool. So the opera and the Requiem are at the end. We start with the Don Giovanni Overture, and then I think it's Symphony 25, and then into the opera. So it's pretty cool.
Okay. And that next Saturday, is that a Saturday performance?
That's right. It's next Saturday at Emmanuel Presbyterian Church at 6 p.m.
Okay, terrific.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for taking the time to chat. I want to remind folks that our performances this weekend are Sunday, October 1st at 3 p.m., Monday, October 2nd at 7 p.m. The Sunday performance is available by live stream. If you just go to quintessence-abq.com, you can purchase a ticket for the live stream or a live ticket. And Monday evening, all students of any age, get in free. So we hope to see you there for that. Thanks for joining us, friends. Thanks for joining me, Olga, and we will see you soon.
My pleasure. Thanks, Matt.
Bye.